Genshin Impact is a psychological operation courtesy of controversial multimedia company Hoyoverse. It is also my most played gacha game, besides Garden Warfare 2. It's about a guy named Travis the Traveler Genshin who is looking for his missing sister sibling the Princess Genshin. He promptly gets sidetracked by the allures of gambling and causing political unrest. In this video, we will be experiencing Chapter 3 of this bizarre adventure, where Travis sets out to find an omniscient tree which is also a child. This video will be a modestly unserious let's play / summary of the third chapter of Genshin Impact, and will make no mention of any of the previous ones. This is because it doesn't make any sense even when considering the previous ones, and I'd go insane from the editing work. Please note that this is one of those games that's written kind of as it goes, so it assumes that you forget essential plot points all the time, and it also assumes that it can gaslight you into thinking that plot points were something else from what they actually were. Genshin changes the rules all the time, so if at any point this summary stops making sense, I assure you that's part of the experience. Genshin simply does not account for you playing more than one act within the span of a month. Final disclaimer before I start this video. This video will be incredibly sarcastic and critical, but I intend to ridicule Genshin Impact here, not Genshin Impact players. There's a very important distinction there. If you unironically enjoy Genshin Impact, that is a completely valid opinion to have. You're a human being, same as me, and your opinion being different from mine does not mean your opinion is worse. I make this video because Genshin Impact is a game that I really went into trying to enjoy it, but it's just really mediocre and the people making it don't seem to give a shit, so now I'm gonna make fun of it for catharsis. Now that we've made it to Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your sister. Yeah, I mean, I was able to figure that out. Like, she's like 5 years old. Like, of course it's not her. Oh? Yeah, keep walking. Sumeru City is 4 minutes from where Travis is right now. Unfortunately, drugs. Something's not right. Top shelf Zaza coffee, thinking in Esperanto. Mine hasta cenardo. I've got to get out of here. I think I'm gonna pass out. No, Travis, I think you've already successfully done that. Honestly, like, Travis, like you are not even in the room. Travis, it has been one whiff. You're not like hot pasta or anything. It has been one whiff. You're seeing shit like this after one whiff. There's something wrong. You need to eat more meat and drink more water. Like, please. Unfortunately, Travis is rescued by Forest Rangers Kole and Tainari, two characters who serve the sole purpose of making this chapter take an additional 2 hours. Oh dear, I dropped it on the ground. What's gonna happen now? He heard it. He's pissed! Kole, what the fuck are you doing? Do you have any idea how hard that stuff is to make? Alright, let's see your right hand. Not bad. Yep, you've got 2 of them. Very impressive. By the way, Kole, do you know anything about the Dendro Archon? You're just asking for a friend, you know, what she's like. I'm not sure. Aren't you from Sumeru? Oh, and because she's from Sumeru, she's supposed to know something about it. Classic Paimon racism. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark of light, the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and, It's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, why oh why is he going to die? It's probably started getting under his skin after a while. I don't find Paimon's small humor funny, honestly. I'm not going to narrate all this. What was it with Alej just now, and why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden? Look, she's practically running back. She's running so fast. Like, man, where does she find her strength in those legs? Paimon can't even see her now. Have you seen Alej by any chance? She kind of just ran off. I wonder why. Oh yeah, I saw her go into her room just a moment ago. That's always a good sign. Yeah, if you say, I'm going to physically attack you, and then you move in on someone to physically attack them, and then they go, wow, it's getting late, I'm gonna go home, and then they go into their room, that's usually the sign that you've made a bad first impression. I came to check on Alej's conditions. To put it simply, she's not well. You mean she's sick? How could she be? Oh, wait a minute, could it be because of what I did yesterday? Paimon, you need to be more specific. We've done a lot of Alej yesterday. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the delivering zone, you may experience extreme discomfort. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life and death. That's actually how I introduce my friends to Genshin Impact. Please press square to destroy Tumor of the Withering. No problem. Anytime. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world. What? How? How? What the fuck? A living plant? Actually, most plants are alive. Never mind. This is actually perfectly normal. The odd plant puts Trav to sleep, which is different from the last time this happened, because the last time was because of drugs, and this time it's because of odd plant. We also finally have another run-in with my favorite minor antagonist who doesn't do anything and is really not worth mentioning. I just think he's funny because he's voiced by Kellen Goff, who you may also know as Freddy Fazbear, you're alive! You Abyss Herald, what are you plotting to do in this strange place? Strange place? Plotting? You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern you. Do they not? I mean, if Freddy Fazbear tells me that I don't need to worry about it, I don't need to worry about it. Whatever you say, man. I don't mind if I just like quickly heal up, right? Oh, he has super armor now. Oh, hyper armor. That's crazy. Yeah, now you can hear it. Disabling voice lines does not disable enemy voice lines for some reason, so here you go. Hold up, I'm just gonna go shield and like hear this guy out for a bit. Oh, never mind. Fight is over. Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler, are you really so ignorant, or are you just living in complete denial? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. You should... Phew! Good thing he wasn't real. I was born into a family of scholars in Subaru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. It's probably a metaphor for the school system. I studied hard, enrolled as a student into academia, and went on to become a researcher. Huh, sure enough, I never dreamed again. Yeah, the school system will do that to you. Eventually, Travis is finally permitted to go to Sumeru City, and he reaches it in like 2 minutes. He gets handed a Neuralink which drills directly into his brain and gives him access to the internet through magic. This doesn't come up again in this act at all. You're also introduced to Dunyarzad. When she was a child, the Dendroarchon said hi, and now she's the Dendroarchon's biggest fan. Her mercenary bodyguard, Dea, who's, I think, meant to be scary. There's Nilu, who hasn't done anything yet. Alej, who's sketchy and will very probably betray us. Dory, who's a child, and also sells highly illegal goods. An extremely insensitive caricature of Abrahamic religion, who end up being 6 guys, so like they're meant to be the main threat, but like they're really not, they're literally 6 guys. And the only major plot point is that their boss uses the USB stick that makes you evil. There's USB sticks and one of them makes you evil. Alej snacks it, end of act.
Grandma's dying! here we are. It's also fairly close to where I've been staying. It looks really nice. Thank you for giving us a house. Dunyarzad, this person who I know so well. My face when the NPC is ever so slightly faster than my walking speed, but significantly slower than my running speed. This is a stall offering food. Whoa, shit, really? What's so chemical divination? Those two things sound like they'd be fun to try together. You know, I'd have this common boulder and have a common boulder. Congratulations, you now have two common boulders. And I have committed an affront to God. Whoa, it's the Aramites. Hello, Dea. Escape within the time that there's two people. Why can't Travis just do something? Like, it's fine, I'm gonna go back instead. like, where did they go? Dea, your arm. Oh, this? I'm fine, it's just a scratch. Normally they wouldn't have been able to land a hit on me at all, but I'm still getting used to this new great sword. Like, that's copium. Also, let Traveler do this. He fights professional assassins every Tuesday, because he really hates the Russian people, and the Russian people really hate him, and they have all the good assassins. This is a stall offering food from the Haft-Miwa feast. I'm always mewing. Wait, sorry I'm from now. Something feels very familiar. I wonder why. Travis can never have like a normal facial expression. This is what people look like when they're having an existential crisis. Number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4. Tell us what's going on. Since when did you get superpowers? Oh, hi. I just saw your model despawn. There's a 5-year-old girl here, and she's sending us into the time loop. I'm sure you already know how to use this. Oh yes, this is the capsule. This is the capsule that makes you good, of course. The child has unusually grotesque facial proportions. You poor creature. Oh yeah, I'm Nahida. I thought you were less Lord Kusanali.
At this point I had started playing detective, as you do in these kinds of time loop plots. I'd made the observation that every single time loop ends, and time loops whenever the festival gets cancelled, and Dunyarzad really wanted to see the festival, so...
Game theory time. Dunyarzad dies the night after the festival would have happened, so like... Travis is seeing an infinite number of possible situations play out until he finds a way to make the festival happen. That's my game theory. Either that, or she just kind of dies and there's like no, or and it just doesn't go anywhere and doesn't accomplish anything in the plot, which is the other thing that's very likely to happen. It's up to Travis to break the cycle of death and rebirth. Alright, so this is the situation. You explain everything to Dea. What the fuck is a rain world? The sun is currently going down. Travis really explained everything to Dea, huh? You begin discussing the issue with Dea, who now finally understands the situation. Oh, she does. Great, I don't. Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. They're the least active when they're playing Genshin Impact. I went back to my footage and checked how long I've been recording, and it's... give or take, because there's a couple gaps in the footage, it's about an hour and 45 minutes. Thus far, the plot has established that there's a time loop, except it's not a time loop, and instead the government is erasing our memories, making us relive the same day every day, except that makes no logistical sense. So obviously it's instead that we're in the back rooms, except we're not in the back rooms, we're in a dream. This is all a dream, and we're in this guy's dream. That's how the plot has advanced over the last hour and 45 minutes. Also, Dunyarzad is dead.
Travis in payment, inspired by the death of this random side character, then get the brilliant idea to make the festival happen.
How are they only coming up with this now? This was the first thing I suggested. I'm actually going insane. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen next?
Hey, hello everybody. The Berlin Wall has fallen.
What? The Berlin Wall has fallen? Hit the gritty. I bet she doesn't even know to pull up Studson. Yo, what the fuck? Real ghosts? Alright, you two must have a lot of questions, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I'll answer any and all questions. Where's sibling? It's not in it. Why? Also, if you were wondering what that time loop thing was about, it actually wasn't a time loop after all. It was actually the Matrix, located entirely within Nilu's head, created by the government to harvest people's dream energy, whatever that might mean. It's never been brought up until this point, and this act doesn't explain what it is or what it's useful for. Why the government wants it also goes completely unexplained in this act. Also, Dunyarzad is alive again.
The teachers tell me to do my homework, but I tell them I quit school!
Travis finds himself short of an excuse to not move the plot forward. So when Kusanali suggests that they could overthrow the Indian government together, Travis is like, yeah, sure, why not? They decide that their first move is to get a spy, an inside man or woman, who can give them information on their enemy, their weaknesses, their plans. They decide to gaslight a scholar, using her cultural background as leverage by straight up mind controlling people who are dear to her. We are the good guys. We're the good guys. We're doing something ethical. This works, and she agrees to meet us outside the academia with all the information we need tomorrow. Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Setaria to our side. Travis's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise. I like your use of the word execution. Divine my prospects in health, or divine my prospects in love. Can you divine my prospects in finding sibling? Travis scares me, and I don't want to hear about his taste in women, so I decided to ask about his prospects in health, which prompted the fortune teller to remark that Trav is immortal. I'd already figured he wasn't human, but 60 hours into the main story, yet not even remotely close to the end, is a bit of a weird time to bring it up. Oh well. The following day, Travis and the group set out to meet with their new spy. Only complications arise. Remember when I said the Russian people really hate Travis, and they have all the good assassins? Okay, this guy is their number 2 best. He's also one of their top researchers, and has found a way to invent mind control, which he's now using to use civilians as harmless distractions, and this doesn't even hurt them, like they're completely fine after this. How evil. This guy is so scary and dangerous and cool and awesome and scary and dangerous and scary that Trav immediately runs away, leaving Nahida to fend for herself. But don't worry, the doctor looks really friendly. Nahida is probably gonna be fine. 10 minutes later, Nahida is fine. See? Told you so. Travis then smokes weed. I'm not sure what prompts him to do this. He just kind of sees the opportunity and goes for it. The weed shows him the entire tragic backstory of Fatui assassin known as Scaramouche. From birth. I'm not sure why, because we haven't actually met him yet. The weed also tells Travis that the Russians are building a false god underneath a Subaru government building. I'm not sure what that entails or accomplishes, but they are doing it. Unfortunately, Travis had forgotten that smoking weed in a public space is actually illegal, so local police promptly beats Nahida to death, causing her to respawn in gay baby jail. Travis is now fresh out of an excuse to not move the plot forward, so he immediately evacuates to Egypt to find a new excuse there.
Ghostbusters, they're back in town. You need to pee. That is so crazy. What the fuck?
In the beautiful deserts of Egypt, India, Travis meets with Dea again, who already hates the government and is actually down if Travis wants to overthrow it. Convenient. And so is Al-Haytham. Yeah, remember Al-Haytham? Remember when he stole that USB stick? Yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. But Al-Haytham wants to overthrow the government with us. How convenient. There's also a new guy, Sino. He looks like an Egyptian god, but he's actually an Indian politician. Maybe he's just really into cosplay. Anyway, he wants to overthrow the government with us. How convenient. And also Candace. She's also there. Anyway, remember those religious extremists from the first act and those kidnappers from the second act? I'm still not sure if those are meant to be the same people or not. Travis wants them on his side now. Hijinks quickly ensue, however, because no one on Team Travis is actually good at talking to other people. You're not wrong, mercenaries are driven by money, and my faith lies with whoever is paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend. Excuse me, I'd like to go into your house. Also, what's with the pyramid in the background? I've only just noticed that. Like, is that normal? Do the people of the village not have an opinion on that? I won't sugarcoat it, this act is mostly just infighting between characters who should probably just get along already. It's so bad that at some point Kusanali, listening in from everyone's Akasha terminals, just decides to cause an earthquake, condemning everyone to exploring the famous ruins of the late Bashpro Shop's pyramid together. And this actually works perfectly. After this journey, there's no more bickering, and everyone gets along with each other. Thanks, Kusanali. You're honestly the hero of this story. This act also gives us some payoff for plot events from the previous acts that didn't really make sense. Remember that robot Travis saw when he was faded off that Josh? Yeah, that wasn't a metaphor for anything. No, it's really down there. The government is in on it. And remember the time loop from Act 2? That was, I think, a way for them to power it? This honestly creates more plot issues than it resolves. Like, very impressive technology that allows you to comatose an entire population and harvest their dreams as a power source. But like, how did you come up with that before you invented fucking solar power or some shit?
Darth Vader is back, Yoda too, Jar Jar Binks. How about you? You see the Chewbacca, you jumping up and down. Anakin showed his wife, oh what a clown.
Team Travis is going to overthrow the Indian government because they're sick and tired of the Indian government's relentless megalomania, racism, and time loops. Alej stays behind at first to make some sinister contraptions which will come in handy later. Sino also stays behind because he needs to smuggle 15 armed foreign mercenaries with no identification into the country. Good luck, buddy. Meanwhile, Trav and Dea ask Tainari from Act 1 about leads on the Doctor's location, because that guy's like a super assassin. If he showed up, that would be very unfortunate. That would suck. Despite having just met you, I can sense that you're the serious type. Between you, Travis, and Sino, none of you strike me as the type that would conspire to deceive me. Imagine Travis conspiring to deceive someone. No. The Doctor is going home. Yes, they really introduced this villain just for him to go home in his second scene. He does technically show up a couple times later on in the chapter, but this is the last time he shows up that actually matters. Travis, Payments, and Dea find the Doctor in Port Ormos, although I could have found him 2 minutes faster if they just let me walk there right away. The Doctor waves them goodbye and then he's just gone. What a terrifying major antagonist. I get shivers just thinking about his scenes. Like, man, they really wrote him as such a scary guy. Things are finally looking up for Travis, as everything is now falling in place for Team Trav to overthrow the Indian government. They check in on Hypatia, who you may or may not remember from Act 1, and, okay, things are no longer looking up. Turns out, in her absence, Hypatia's been smoking that mascot horror. Took her down to the Garden of Ban, threw her down an elevator shaft, got her greened out off that Jumbo Josh. Shit's so bad, it's contagious.
That voice. That's Evan from Evangelion. Why is he in my head?
In Genshin lore, spellcasting a club bug hard enough gives you the ability to telepathically connect to someone else's consciousness. So Travis and Scaramouche take the opportunity to have a little Skype chat with each other, kind of like in Star Wars. The Wii told me they're going to turn you into a big robot. Don't that shit hurt? Oh, certainly, and I'll have to spend the rest of my day sitting in a basement. But you know, it's worth it. My life is completely meaningless. I've accomplished nothing. This is literally the only way to salvage my existence. Dude, you're like 13, of course you haven't accomplished anything yet. Besides, what's a man really gain if he wins the whole world but loses himself? Do you hear yourself? The whole world, you moron! Also, you're fake. You're not a nice person, you just want people to say nice things about you. You're a massive egomaniac, and you are in no position to lecture me about anything. I am not going to let myself be outdone philosophically by a prepubescent. I'm going to ignore literally everything you just said and move on with the story without having learned anything. I've finally made it. Prager University. Our target is Grand Sage Azar's office. Everyone in the Academia knows that that's where the Grand Sage's console is, and only they can operate it. Who's they?
Everyone in the Academia can operate it? Or does Grand Sage Azar use they them pronouns? I digress. The point is simple. We sneak into Azar's office and we do something there. I forgot. I don't actually remember much from this act at all. Anyway, we get caught immediately, prompting Azar to tell us, "The foot traffic here renders this place unsuitable for discussion. Please follow me to my office." Ka-ching. What follows is a 10-minute philosophical debate between Team Travis and Azar, which is coincidentally also the exact amount of time it's been since the last time Travis had a debate with someone. If humanity cannot attain omniscience and omnipotence, then we shall create a god to reveal them. This is the pinnacle of human wisdom. It's really not. It's just a big robot, man. The big robot's not gonna make you book smart or money smart. It's definitely not gonna make you more intelligent. Gods exist on a plane that far eclipses humanity's. No, they don't. They're right there. We are a people, favored by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Rukkhadevata is fucking dead. What a pathetic justification. Do you really think that that only the super smart or powerful should be able to call themselves gods? I don't think anyone should call themselves a god. He's tweaking. He got a fentanyl slump, he's off the trank. Local police promptly knocks Alhaitham unconscious. They can't kill him, he's white. Also, Trav is put in prison, which I have no objections to. There's a light flashing on your Akasha terminal. It's almost like the faster it blinks, the better the signal. Oh yeah, I know this puzzle from Garten of Banban 7. Also, like, what is this fucking prison? Look at this place. I could probably grow my own food in here. Why is there so much literature? This prison cell kicks ass. Come on, Travis. Break the cycle of life and death. the cycle of death and rebirth, I mean. Or something like that. Nahida. Hello. Oh. Playing as Nilu now. The Nilu episode. Alright, so. Dance with Sub-Zero. Frey sword strikes. Her combo is half the length of Travis's. Enters pirouette state, dealing damage to nearby. Oh shit, I'm not reading all that. Okay, so normal attack combo. Travis's but worse. Charge attack. The exact same as Travis. Oh, this is gonna be a cutscene, isn't it? See, it would have been way cooler if I get to play like a random rhythm game out of nowhere. That would have been so much more fun, but no. Public performances are actually illegal, so local police promptly beat Nilu to death. People who are used to relying on the Akasha become less inquisitive, and their ability to distinguish truth from misinformation is significantly reduced. They will view everything the Akasha releases to them as the unequivocal truth. It's kind of like Instagram, Dea. Do you know Instagram? I'm utterly speechless about what I'm seeing before me. I genuinely don't have any words. I don't have anything witty to say, nor anything sarcastic. I'm just genuinely speechless. Egyptian mercenaries promptly beat local police to death. Afterwards, Dea makes a quick stop over at the Academia to set Travis and Paimon free. I'm not sure why she'd do this, perhaps her kindness is unconditional. I can't believe these random NPCs that barely know each other and have no chemistry actually managed to overthrow a government together. Now all that's left for Travis to do is to pay a quick visit to the sanctuary where Kusanali is being kept. And then this act will finally be over. This is really embarrassing. Yolda's rescued an Archon and now she needs your help to save her country and even the entire world. Right. The Mecca in the government catacombs. Man, that's a lot of taxpayer dollars. Why didn't they make it this big? How is it going to leave the building? Leave the building?
Imagine that. No, considering you overthrew the government just now, this robot does literally nothing. Like, it is never seeing the light of day. And neither am I, because I'm actually stuck to it. Like, I can't leave. So, like, we could just leave you here and everyone wins? Oh, yes, absolutely. But counteroffer. The worst boss in the entire game so far. Like, a 15-minute gimmick fight against the tankiest enemy in the game so far, with just no gameplay whatsoever, and it's just absolutely awful from beginning to end. What do you say, Travis? Okay.
Everybody's born to compete as he chooses, but how can someone win if winning means that someone loses? I sit and see and wonder what it's like to be in touch. No wonder all my brothers and my sisters need a crutch. I wanna be a human being, not a human being. I couldn't keep that pace up if I tried. The source of my attention really isn't crime prevention. My intention is prevention of the lie. Yeah, welcome to the Skyman's world.
Another debate easily won. Man, I'm good. And then Travis went to France and clubbed baby seals to death for several weeks. And that's basically Genshin Impact. Well, not all of it. The second half of the game hasn't actually released yet, but I assume it will be just like this, which is why I'm going to stop playing Genshin Impact now that I finished this video. Thank you very much for watching. You really didn't need to do that. And make it a good day. Take good care of yourself. Eat 3 meals. Eat 3 meals a day. Even if you're not particularly hungry or motivated, you need the nutrients. You're still growing. And, you know that those nutrients are good for you. They give you energy. Go outside from time to time, get some fresh air. It helps clear the head, makes you feel better. Look at some birds. Really underrated mental health hack. Just look at birds. Just stare at birds. It helps. Open a window if the weather outside isn't particularly rough. Lock your front door when you go to bed. Drink some water if you haven't drank any water in the last 4 hours. Don't take your phone to bed with you. There's nothing on there that you need to see. There's nothing on it that's more important than getting a good night's rest. And be careful with gacha games, because they literally only exist to exploit your every insecurity to get you to gamble with real money. Like, please, just for the love of all that is good and kind, do not take life advice or life lessons or mental health lessons from Genshin Impact. This game exists for the sole purpose of marketing sexy gambling to literal 12-year-olds.
Hello, everybody. My name is Smoking himself, and today I'm here. I'm in the video. We're smoking exotic Scholar Foxboy weed. We gotta smoke this shit in the jungle in a cave somewhere so a passerby doesn't catch a whiff and pass or die. Call this shit the demigirl pill. This wolf was handed to me by shadow people, and this will make you see them. This weed non-corporeal got me feeling like I've existed for the same number of epochs as heaven and earth. This shit sent me to Walmart. Passing that hefty booth got me pondering life. They are building Mechagodzilla under the Sydney Opera House. He's down there.